So I want to do the college football playoff selection committee projections as I see them based on my top 25, right? So off the rip, is Miami coming back from the underworld? Like, is Miami emerging to take over the underground like Michael Irving, Melvin Bratton, and Jerome Brown in fatigues, flanked by these hurricane hellhounds? Is that happening? Because it feels like Miami's getting to this place where they start teasing us. I have wanted to short Miami because I don't like the way that they're winning football games, but they are winning football games. I want to short Miami because before Colorado was Colorado with Prime, all we had was Miami. And I mean this sincerely. There are some old heads that remember Catholics versus convicts like it was yesterday. There are some old heads that remember Benny Blades going over the top of Texas in a Cotton Bowl, stomping them out, walking it dry. There are some old heads that learned from Jimmy Johnson, I'm not going to treat you all equally, but I am going to treat you all fairly. And you know what? Just win. I'll take care of everything else. There are some old heads that remember Jimmy Johnson having to defend running up the score because he's like, hey, backups want to score too. There's some old heads that remember Ray Lewis, that remember Ed Reed, that remember Clinton Portis, that remember Willis McGahee, and that Ken Dorsey also ran on that team. I would like nothing more than to be able to talk about Miami like that, but I just can't do it right now, man. I can't. You can't tease me like this. I got to wait for you to do something to somebody that I give a damn about. Coming back from 28-17 to beat Duke 53-31, I don't care. It's Duke. It's Duke. I don't care. But you know what? You beat up on an undefeated in ACC play SMU, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So the seeding as I got it, Oregon at 1, Georgia at 2, Miami at 3, BYU at 4, Ohio State at 5, Texas at 6, Indiana at 7, Tennessee at 8, Penn State at 9, Notre Dame at 10, Alabama at 11, and Boise State at 12, which means that your 5-12 matchup would be Ohio State, Boise State, which probably looks a lot like Ohio State Purdue this weekend. Then you got Texas versus Alabama, which I think is a lot more fun because Jalen Milroe was committed to Texas, and then Mike Yurcich, which feels like eons ago, decided he didn't want no Jalen Milroe. So he cut him. And Nick Saban said, hey, you want to come over here? To say nothing of, Texas, Alabama is a sexy matchup for Steve Sarkisian, who was offensive coordinator, also courted for the job, said no, yada, yada, yada. Indiana versus Notre Dame for the Indiana State Championship, where Notre Dame would have to go to Bloomington. I'm here for that. I like that. That's a great defense versus, I think, a really good offense. And then can Riley Leonard outduel Curtis Work? That'd be fun. And then flip of what has been in recent weeks, Tennessee would host Penn State. Not the sexiest game for me anymore, but I would expect that Tennessee would treat Penn State, not unlike Ole Miss treated Penn State last year. Means that your quarterfinal matchups would be Oregon versus the winner of Tennessee-Penn State, Georgia versus the winner of Indiana-Notre Dame, Miami versus the winner of Texas-Alabama. I would love that. And then BYU versus the winner of Ohio State-Boise State, which would be Ohio State. And Ohio State would, once again, be in a dunker spot. I'm saying this. When you watch the college football playoff selection committee rankings, and we'll talk about them after they do, but notice who the first Power 4 team is out, the number 5 seed. That is the spot that I want. I want to be the 5 seed more than I want to be the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. I get to host the home game. I get to play the 12 seed, who I'm going to stomp out because it's essentially an August game, right? It's a non-conference game that you put on the schedule that you can't put the FCS team on the schedule, so you put a Group 5 team on the schedule. And then you get to play the weakest of the 4 power conference champions, which in this case would be BYU. And then you get to play the 1 seed after they might get past the 8-9, right? But they would not have that bye week to rest on anymore. So you essentially, Ohio State would be able to play Oregon in a semifinal matchup. Who wouldn't want to see that? I would want to see that. I would love that. It'd be fun. Just like this show. That's going to do it for this episode of the #1 college football show. If you like the show, subscribe to the channel. We just went over 116,000 subscribers. It would be nice to get to 117,000 subscribers before we kick off on Saturday, and that is totally up to you. I will be here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday anyway, and I hope to see you either in the comments, on the Twitters, on the Instagrams. I'm easily found. Tell me what you think. I'm reading it. Till then, I'll see you on the flip side. Doses.